No, let's talk.
Oh yeah, because we're on Zoom, so we've only got our clock is ticking.
I just hit record just now, so it just started.
Oh,
So
we're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so
so
okay.
All right. So do I introduce myself or how this work? How y'all do it? Oh, I
ready
said.
to get into it.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Hold up, Miss Guest. Slow your roll. We got to start it off properly. Ready to get into it?
That's right, everybody. Thank you very much. Welcome to Fully Cinematic with Rand and John. Welcome to our channel, and so make sure you like and comment, subscribe to it. We appreciate it. And tonight we have a special guest with us, Miss Melonie Edge, sweet lady. She's here to talk with us about a really good film. In fact, I think it's a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna have to let Rand and Melonie talk about the first two because I've only seen the last. So, Rand, you kick it off and tell us what we're gonna be talking about tonight.
We're going to be taking a dive into Bad Boys for Life, the third movie in the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence series about Miami cops. And as John said, I guess tonight is Melonie Edge from thereisnoedge.com. Want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Melonie from There Is No Edge. It's my thing. It's my brand, who I am. I inspire others through my life's test. You can find me at www.thereisnoedge.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. I'm there as There Is No Edge. And I'm excited.
Awesome.
Especially considering it took me, 10 months to watch the movie? I just watched it.
Well, we're so excited for you to be here with us tonight. So let me just go ahead and ask you though. All right, so have you seen all the films in this series?
Yes, I've seen all 3 movies.
Okay.
So,
Rand, you've seen all as well, right?
Yep, sure did. I even went back and watched the first two at the end, back in November, last November.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn it over to you two, and I don't know who wants to set this up, but so we can kind of get into the third.
No, we're gonna get into the third one first, and then we're gonna.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, there we go. All right.
But before we jump into all that, Melonie, you are our first guest, and so congratulations on that. And this is episode number 5. First episode was summer movies, the best summer movies of 2020. Then we got into #Alive.
Oof, yeah,
and
good.
zombie movies.
Yep.
Third episode was the best vampire movies of all time.
Whoop, whoop. Yep.
And last week we did the best ghost story movies of all time. So now let's jump into Bad Boys for Life. So Melonie, you especially let me know that you had seen it, seen the movie. So let's hear what you thought about it.
I loved it. Like, even I was really afraid because I waited so long to see it that the hype of it was going to be not good for me. I thought it was going to be horrible because I waited so long, and I did that with another movie. And by the time I watched it, I was like, "This is what everybody was excited about."
What
But
was
I
that movie?
did enjoy it. I really, really, really like. I was like, yes, and I like the way they set it up so that this could not be the end.
Right.
I like the way they kind of set it up for the new generation to come through.
Yeah.
So I like it. So.
Yeah, they did announce in the second weekend that the movie was out that they liked the box office numbers so much that they already greenlit the 4th movie, and so they're gonna be
You know
jumping
how
on.
much that movie has made?
Yeah, so far it's made, and actually, it was hurt by COVID because it was only out for 2 months before the theater shut down.
And made that kind of money?
And it still made $424 million in worldwide.
That's insane.
People were waiting for that movie.
And until October, it was the #1 movie of 2020 worldwide.
Whoa.
But
now, I will say, because I remember going to see this on a Sunday afternoon at Regal over here in the northeast side of town, for those of you who care. But anyway, And that was like a 4 o'clock afternoon show. It was packed. I mean, and when I go to a movie, I get there ahead of time because I've got to have my popcorn. I got to have my drink. You don't go to a movie without doing that. So I made sure to get in that line soon enough, and I still was late getting into the preview, which ticked me off because I love my previews too. So it was packed. I can see what made for it, because most movies when I go on a Sunday afternoon when that's my kind of my quiet time, my downtime, it's not a lot of people in the theater. But that day, whew, it was packed.
That's when I go on a Sunday. I go at 10 in the morning on Dutch Square, which is across town from where I stay. I go to the 10 o'clock movie because there's no one in there.
Oh, look at you. I was going to ask you though. So would you consider yourself a big buff then, a movie buff?
I used to be when I had the time. Like I used to always, as soon as the movie come out, I was there. Okay. And then I kind of fell off, and like now, like I just saw Bad Boys Forever.
Okay.
I think I would have seen it if COVID wouldn't have hit, but some other stuff happened too. I didn't have COVID, but some other stuff happened, and so I didn't get a chance to see it before the world basically shut down.
So where'd you see it?
I saw it not last weekend, but the weekend before last.
But did you see it streaming?
Yes. Okay. My sister has Prime. She has Stars. So you go Stars so much. Oh. So now it's on Stars. So
the funny thing about Bad Boys for Life is that it came out in January, and usually January is when movie studios dump the movies that they don't do any good, and it blew the doors. It broke records. It broke all kind of records for January movies, and it made the most money out of all of the Bad Boys movies.
Well, let me ask you this: what was the second movie? When did that come out? Because here's what I found interesting coming in, not having seen the previous two, is to me it just looked like there was such a natural chemistry between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
They always had that chemistry.
It was just a natural. It's like you almost could tell, like to me, it almost like they felt like they definitely were best friends, And
they have the same chemistry in the first two movies. And you asked when the second movie came out. Mm-hmm. It took so long for this third one to come out that Bad Boys 2 came out in '98. So it took 22 years for them to get.
Oh my God.
I think that's why it made so much money. It's because everybody was waiting for another movie to come out. And in between, I don't know if y'all know this, but in between this movie coming out, they actually had a spinoff. Spectrum, Spectrum now has their own demand, their own like channel type deal.
Yeah.
And so they have a spinoff, LA Spying. So in the second movie, Gabrielle Union plays Martin Lawrence's sister. And she's a DEA agent in that one. So then they had a spinoff where she goes to some stuff happened in Miami. I haven't finished watching the spinoff, so I don't know what all happened in Miami to make her leave. And so she started working in LA. And it's the same thing. She has a partner. They have a good chemistry together. They solving crime. So I really like the spinoff.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they partner her up with Jessica Alba.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With Jessica Alba.
And in the second movie, Gabrielle Union's character, her name's Sydney. She actually has a secret romance going on with Will Smith's character. Mike Lowry.
With the spinoff, they didn't because that's when I figured they may have said that they broke up in some type of way. But in the spinoff, she actually was dating some other dude at that point. So I'm like, so what happened to Mike Larry? So I'm thinking if I watch a couple more episodes, they may show him sometime. Will like come in show sometime. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the whole thing.
So how many were there? So were there any other people? I think, and y'all may have said this, but so were there other people that returned from the first and second that were in this third one?
Yeah.
Almost everybody came back.
Oh wow.
So Martin and Will's they're detectives and partners. Their boss, the captain, he comes back. You got Martin is a family man. Will's a bachelor. Martin's a family man. His whole family came back. His wife, his daughter. The daughter went on a first date in the last movie, and in this movie, she actually is getting married to the guy. Well, she married the guy, and she's having her first baby.
Oh, okay.
Now, I will say I did not like that part.
Oh, tell us why. Let's hear it.
Yeah. What's the?
Okay, so this is why I didn't like the part. Not because I'm not here for love. That's not why I didn't like the part. I didn't like the fact that why he couldn't marry her in Progression B, have a baby. Why she had to be basically a baby mama before she was a wife. I didn't like that connotation of it. Like, I understand that you get married, so it wasn't like you getting married, but I just didn't like that connotation of like she couldn't, like they just couldn't be dating or naturally be already married and then, have a baby. I just didn't like that part of it, where they just basically made her a single mama before she was married. Because if you're not married, you're single mama.
Right. And I forgot that. They did, yeah, she had the baby and then they got married.
Yeah,
Okay.
which, like I said, I'm glad that she did end up getting married, but I just thought that was, I won't say negative. I just thought it could have been better written, where she was, they had already been married, and this was their first, which that was their first child, but it was their first child after maybe a year anniversary or something like that. But I didn't like it.
They didn't just bring the old characters back. They got all of the original actors to come back and play these characters. They didn't recast anybody.
Wow.
And that did kind of shock me.
Crazy.
People bringing back Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie was the boyfriend in the second movie.
They gave him a hard time in the second one.
Yeah. If you get a chance, you need to watch the second one, because that part of the movie, like, that was the funniest part of the second movie. When Reggie comes to pick her up for a date. Like, that's the best part of the second.
Okay.
So John, as a newbie to the series, what was your impression?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Now, I will say the only negative I would say about the film itself, and this is not just for this film, this is just with the majority of film. I don't need as much of the language, in it. And of course, now granted, you're going into what was a rated R film. So sometimes, that can be a little bit overplayed, overkill, but in this, their chemistry was so good. I mean, the storyline was good. I really felt like that, they played off each other so well. It was funny. I mean, I was literally laughing, and it takes a lot for me to laugh out loud. And I mean, I was laughing out loud in the theater. I mean, at some of the parts of it. So, yeah, I think that I thought it was good. I mean, I really liked the whole chemistry. I like I thought it was just long enough. It didn't go over. It didn't get drug out. I mean, I like the way that the action went. It was just a good action comedy. I mean, I thought it was great. So, I'm really impressed for this film to have taken that long to be brought back in, and for it to almost pick up. And a lot of the reviews I've read where some people said, oh, it just seemed like it just seamlessly, it was kind of transparent that it happened 20 years before, which I thought was pretty good.
That's why they kind of focused on their ages in this movie, because it was kind of like a real-time progression, because the actors are 22 years older, so the characters are too.
Yeah. Well, did you have anything about it you didn't really care for? Or did you just like everything in it, Rand, or what was your take on everything?
For the most part, I liked it all. I could have used less of the old jokes. There was a lot of focus on
the age and everything, and what was
yeah. I could have done it. I could have done with a little less of that.
I think that that kind of goes into what you were saying about the fact they realize they're a lot older, and and they just wanted to, I guess, keep playing off of that. But yeah, a couple of times is fine. You don't need to overkill, overplay that. I mean, everybody knows you're older. I mean, because we're all older. So, but yeah. So what else?
I like the banter though between Will's character and like I guess the new Will.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when they brought in the new task force and
The Ammo Squad.
yeah, the ammo squad, and him and the guy kept going back and forth, and he gets to the club. Like
Yeah.
to me, this was like a moment where the old joke made sense. But
Right.
they didn't even mention they just said you see it. Cause like that was Mike Larry back in the day. You know, he would get you in the club. He was the one that all the ladies knew. And then
Right.
the guy to come up and get them in the club. I was like, oh, they got a new Mike Larry. So I was like, look at it, new Mike Larry.
Speaking of, well, and that's the other thing too. I'm trying to remember. Of course, it's been a while since I've seen it, since it was the theater. But a lot of, I mean, I am very particular too about listening to music and the score in movies, because sometimes it just, a scene with a particular song, it's just like magic sometimes if it hits right. And I just can't, I don't know. I need to go back and probably revisit this film just to see if there was anything. Did anything stand out for y'all from a music perspective, or anything in the club, or anything at all? Was there anything that y'all noticed? Or I just, nothing stood out for me from that perspective on the film. But
none of the background music stood out to me, but I did love the fact that they kept singing that that Bad Boy song that they always sang between the two of them in the first.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Honestly, nothing stood out to me either. But I, like you said, I like that part when he kept singing the Bad Boy song, and the fact that he still didn't know the words.
And yeah, after all these years, he still don't know the lyrics.
Oh my gosh.
Right. But I can tell y'all that it took so long to make this movie because Michael Bay directed the first two movies,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that he and Will Smith are two of the highest paid people in Hollywood. So it was hard to get the budget for the movie with both of them involved. So what happened was eventually Michael Bay stepped out, and he's not the director of this one, but he actually does make a cameo in the movie. He's at the wedding. He's one of the wedding guests.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But he didn't direct the movie.
And see, I thought Martin was the holdout, so he wasn't the holdout all this time.
Well, I had seen a couple of talk shows that Martin was on throughout the years where he kept on giving updates like, yeah, we're gonna be doing the movie, we're gonna start filming it, blah 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 blah, and then he would later have to explain, yeah, it's gonna take a little more time, this and that. So I was one of the people that thought it might never happen too, but I was glad. I'm glad it did.
$30 million million.
Yeah, let me see. This movie actually had a $90 million budget.
And made 420. That's all? With $90 million? $90
million without superheroes or spaceships.
God. And made 420 something. Good grief. No wonder they're putting it on the agenda for on the block to make another one. Jeez.
And like I say, it had. If it hadn't been for the pandemic, it probably would have stayed in theaters for at least another month. So I'm sure it would have made more than 426 million.
Wow.
Probably hit 5.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, did Ryan Reynolds make an appearance?
No, he didn't.
I don't know why, but I was just looking, and it says from a cast perspective, and it lists Ryan Reynolds as a member of the cast, but it doesn't have a name under there. So I just wonder if he made a cameo and it wasn't what do they call it?
I don't remember him.
I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, I don't remember him being in it at all.
They've got a list of everybody there, and they got him in there as a picture of being in it. So I don't know if he just made a.
I remember he made an appearance in that Fast and Furious spinoff, Hobbs and Shaw, but I didn't see him in this movie though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who
he would have been. Yeah, I see where Michael Bay with the wedding MC said I'm gonna have to go back. That's the thing about it. My short-term memory's so bad. Lord have mercy. So
now I will say the part that just crushed my little spirit is when Are we doing? We're not doing spoilers, like.
Yeah, we doing spoilers. This movie came out in January, so we giving spoilers.
Okay, so so when the captain was shot,
Right.
I low key was crying. Oh, better get that off. I low key was crying because I was just so distraught that the captain got killed.
With that, Joe
Pantoliano.
Yeah.
Pantoliano. Yeah, I love him.
However you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, John, what you didn't get was the fact that he was their captain for the entire trilogy, so it hit harder for people who've seen all three movies.
So they had that close-knit relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could tell he had a hard edge with him, but at the same time, you know, he was, you know.
Well, that was progressed throughout the movies. Like, because through the first movie, he was like hard edge, and the second movie, he was namaste. He was trying to find his inner peace.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so by the third movie, he was kind of, I guess he had found his balance.
Yeah.
Right.
Because in the second movie, they were really trying to be kind of namaste, you know. He was very zen. He took his shoes off when he come in his office, you know. He had a bonsai tree on his vest, so he was very zen in the second.
Woosah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Woosah, that was their catchphrase in the second movie.
I wonder why they but I going back to what you were saying, Rand, why were they going to plan on putting this out in January? I mean, I guess maybe do they do it because they didn't think that it was going to be the best of the movies in that particular time period?
I would guess that they were worried about the competition because back when the first two movies came out, they didn't really have to worry about Star Wars or Marvel movies. But now, you know what I mean? This year, if they would have come out in the summertime, they would have been going up against. And if they would have come out this summer, they would have, without the pandemic, they would have been going up against the James Bond movie, and they would have been going up against Black Widow. They would have
went up against Mulan too, because Mulan, they released it on that Disney streaming, but it was originally supposed to be released in the box office.
And and a Fast and Furious movie was supposed to come out.
Yeah, they pushed that back.
Right. Yeah. So the competition would have been rough.
Didn't they push another movie back? I don't remember which one, but I know
A Quiet Place 2 got pushed back too.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would have.
Well, but the thing about it is, I mean, Will Smith had already just come off the Aladdin hit. So he was definitely, I mean, that made.
Keep the momentum going.
Yeah. I mean, that made $500 million, if not close to it. I don't know.
No, it made a full billion.
Oh, it did? Aladdin did? Wow. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, in my opinion, I mean, they shouldn't have worried about whatever time they put this movie out there. I mean, I don't know. It just worked for me. I thought it was a good, like I said, it was funny. It was good action. And
I have a question.
Let's hear it.
And I asked somebody else this, so I want to ask you guys this, because I figured it out. Did you guys figure out that the guy that was trying to kill Mike Lowry was Mike Lowry's son?
Yeah.
Like before they actually said it. Did y'all figure it out?
I did. Yeah, I did. Because I thought that I was thinking to myself while I was watching the movie that Mike's personality and the way he was in the first two movies was going to catch up to him one day. And that fit. Him getting shot and him having a accidental kid both fit with his his past catching up to him. To me.
What about you, John?
Well, but now what are they going to do? Well, I didn't see any of that coming, of course. So, but how are they going to progress now and move this into another? Because you got to think about it. They'll be another 1 or 2 years older. Lord, they'll be at retirement.
I don't think they're gonna wait that long to do another one, because in the end, they Will had came to him and said, you want to knock off some of your time, so they're already gonna pull him in as, I guess, his son, the legacy continues with him. So I don't think they're gonna wait as long. I think they probably would have been shooting it probably the end of this year had all this not happened. So I think now finding a new normal and how they're going to film these movies.
But I think
come out.
Well, but I'm hoping that because I think Will Smith, his acting skills are just amazing, of course. And I like him in serious roles too. I mean, so I do want to see him in something else that, because like, what was it, The Pursuit of Happiness or something? That was
Yeah.
just, oh my God, that was amazing. I did not get to see him. Who was it he portrayed? Ali.
Oh yeah, he was amazing.
I cannot believe I have not seen that film yet. That's on my to watch list. But I mean, no, of course he cracks me up. And I just loved him in Aladdin. I thought he was wonderful in that. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I can see if they'd gone ahead and I'd see the next one. Of course, I need to go back and watch the first two. I mean, that's the bad thing. I need to go back and catch up on them. So
Yeah, you do, because a lot of things will hit different when you see the first two movies. Because like Reggie Martin's son-in-law in Bad Boys 2, like I said, he goes on the first date with Martin's daughter, and both him and Will give him a hard time when he shows up at the house to take her out.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
That part was having me rolling. Like that part was a good part.
And Martin's wife Teresa in the first movie, there's an issue with her because due to an undercover assignment and some some assumptions being made, she thinks that Martin is cheating on her. So yeah, a lot goes down with that too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was just looking at her credits. I've seen her in a lot of other films too.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
She has been. I didn't realize, and she's my age. She's 55, and you sure can't tell it. Wow.
That's why, like with the age wise, yeah, they waited 20 some years, and all the people that they cast had grown up or aged gracefully.
Yeah, the new people are the ammo team. All of them are new, and the drug queen pin that Will had a relationship with, she was never in any of the other movies either.
We don't even know about his stint in the. What was he doing? Like
when he was a rookie going undercover.
Yeah, we didn't even know.
We never seen that. Yeah, they just pulled that out of the hat.
Okay.
But when they had their fight, that's when I knew that was his son. Because they had the same, even though it's not his real son, they kind of gave off the same stare. And I was like, I think it might be his son.
Okay. I was actually worried about, before I actually saw the movie, I was a little worried about Martin Lawrence because we hadn't seen him in a lot of movies in a while. But I mean, he jumped right in. He still got it. You know what I mean? He has not lost a step.
I was gonna say, but he's Martin. Martin. So, I mean,
but that's the thing is, I mean, that's a good point, Rand. I'm just sitting there looking to his credits. I mean, and I had not seen him in a lot of stuff lately.
I think he was enjoying his retirement.
He must be. Beach Bum. Did anybody ever watch The Beach Bum?
Yeah, I saw him in that. He was in that in a very small role.
Well, that movie looks horrible to begin with, but anyway,
yeah, I don't recommend it.
You don't recommend it?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never even heard of it.
It's a weird movie about Matthew McConaughey living off his rich friends in Miami.
That okay, that's another discussion because I could go off on that, but I mean, you got some big names playing in that stupid movie. But anyway.
Snoop Dogg is in it. It's crazy.
But yeah, but that's pretty much, that was the most recent thing he'd done. So, and then prior to that, it looks like it was quite a few years in between films and stuff. Well, he did some stand-up on Netflix and stuff. So, so it's not like
he comes from that side of things. He was a comedian first. And then he got the TV show. And then controversy with the TV show happened. That went off the air, and then he kind of started doing movies.
Well, I'm surprised.
The TV show is what spun all the movies, I think.
I'm surprised they haven't done another Big Mamas. But I'm gonna tell you what he was good in too. And of course, this is going off on another tangent. But Wild Hogs. Did y'all ever see Wild Hogs?
No, I skipped that.
I saw that. He was good in that movie. You talking about the biker movie, right?
Yeah,
the old guys.
Yeah, the old guys.
Tim Allen.
It was
Him
But
and-
I
Tim
don't
Allen,
think it was
John
Tim Allen. What is his real name?
John Travolta.
Tim Allen, John
Yeah.
Travolta, and who was the other guy? He's in Shameless. Lord, who is it? William Macy.
Oh,
That was good. That was a good film. That was.
It was a good film.
But Martin was, I thought, extremely. I really liked his character. I thought his character stood out in that film. He was hysterical. But anyway,
the critics don't agree with me, but I think Martin's best movie, or one of his best movies, is National Security. I thought that movie is hilarious. I love it.
It was. Is that the one? That's the one where he was a cop. Yeah, because the other one was Blue State. So he was a cop with the other cop. He was a partner. Or something.
He was a security guard who dreamed about being a cop.
Okay,
And-
yeah. I
and
don't
then-
like.
And then when
you didn't like that? Why not? Why not?
I loved it.
That's 17 years old. That thing came out in 2003. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
And see, I was gonna say I like him in Blue State.
I mean,
Oh yeah. He was pretending to be a cop in that one. In that one, he was a jewel thief who was pretending to be a cop.
Yeah, I like him in that.
And I don't need to see any more Big Mama House movies.
oh, you don't. Okay.
That last one was
Yeah. Well, sometimes it just stuff gets worn out, so it gets overplayed. But I I just wonder if it'll be interesting to see if the fans follow and the next film makes another makes 500 million. I mean, let's hope we can get a movie to the theater. I mean, that's the thing with Regal having been temporarily shut down, and I heard the other day that AMC was thinking about doing the same thing now, even though they've cut the weeks down. They've closed during the week and they're only opening Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. And even that's not every theater. That's just
Each movie only has one showing per day.
Right. And that's just
You rent the movie theater now, though? Are they doing that? Where they let you rent like a movie theater if you want? I'm quite sure most people can't afford to rent a movie.
Right. Yeah, that's doing that, but I don't think it's really working.
It's something they were gonna start doing where they rent out the movie theater.
Yeah, for
Like,
$99 you can rent a theater, but who's gonna work? Lord,
for how much?
for $99, I can't take everybody to the theater for $99 a showing.
I was
Right.
about to, you can have a party for $99.
You better have something really going on for $99 in that theater. So,
But
You're
my thing
basically paying for you and your friends to go to
But
the
the thing is, if AMC can't get people, if the AMC can't get people to come in the door, how am I gonna get people to come in there? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say you don't pay the $99 and then you rent it out or have people come in to pay. Kind of like a screening party with your friends. Like, okay, this movie came out.
Right.
We want to rent the space so we can watch this movie all together.
Yeah, but I'm saying, my friends are just as afraid to catch
And
COVID.
I'm really gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you don't invite me, but
Okay, I'll pull this up because I just wanted to see because I love well, Regal's my go-to theater. But the AMC theater in Harbison I love. I mean, especially the Tuesday night showing because there's $5 for the top movie, and you can get a drink and a popcorn for $5. I mean, and you sitting in there and relax, heated seats, you can't go wrong with that. So anyway, going back to the theater, private showing starting at $99. You can rent an AMC auditorium. What? Now listen to this. Due to popular demand, all upcoming private theater rentals have been sold out.
Wow.
Because think about it. If you about to take somebody out on a date, and right now you can't do movie and dinner and all that because it's COVID. But if you can rent a space, I'm quite sure they're not gonna say you can't bring anything to eat in with you because I mean you just paid $99 where they wouldn't even got no money for the space. So that could be like a social distancing date.
Now I'm gonna tell you one thing. That would be an impressive date night. That's for sure.
I promise you it would. So all y'all listeners, I am willing to go to the movies for a social distancing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
They got me a movie I want to watch.
Well, it says the total number of guests cannot exceed 20 per auditorium.
But do you have to? But do you have to wear a mask on this date?
Oh, all of
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's out then.
Well, it says learn more about
How
it.
would you
Yeah.
masks are required to enter into the place. I mean, you need to wear your mask to get in there anyway. I mean, if you're in there, if we are social distancing, you take your mask off, you keep yourself on that side of the room. See, I find out about your COVID habit.
I don't want to go on that type of date.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing: your A-list movies are off the list.
Right.
See, that just don't, nah.
So I'm not going.
Now, see, that's the thing. If you're going to pay $99, it should.
You better show me a top show.
Right, you should be able to see whatever you want to see.
I'm not going to go and pay $99 to see
Hocus
Pocus
Pocus.
about 20 years ago. No.
Yeah. I'm not paying.
That's
I'm not paying $100 to wear a mask and watch Hocus Pocus.
Come on now.
It's about the experience, not about the money.
Yeah. But you know, I will give credit AMC.
They're charging that. You should be able to see whatever.
I give AMC credit for trying. I mean, at least that's another, you know, they're trying to do what they can to keep the business. Because I'm going to tell you, I mean, if this stuff, I don't foresee this stuff going away anytime soon. I mean, the rumor I heard was that it's going to be minimum of February before we can go back to work. Which, well, and technically, I guess I could go back in the building now, but I don't know, you know. I have some
information on AMC. So they reportedly lost $900 million in the last 3 months. So they're doing a stock sale to raise $50 million to avoid bankruptcy.
I can see that.
Now, I might need to get in on that.
It's rough.
I might need to get in on that. Because if they could just hang in there and movies rebound, can you imagine once people still really feel safe about going back? Because, I mean, let's go back, going back to the film, going back to, you know, our purpose of this podcast. You just don't, you enjoy, at least this is my opinion as a film buff, the fact that you're there laughing and cutting up and having a good time with everybody else in the audience. It just makes it such a good experience. I mean, when you feel the emotions and everything. And so we can't, I'm sorry, but we cannot have no movies at a theater.
I would say for me, like, I can do either or. I'm a homebody, so I can watch a movie at home and watch it in the theater. I will say my best time in the theaters were those 10 a.m. in the morning type of movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple people that's going to be crazy enough to be up at 10 o'clock with you in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you do get a chance to talk to them, but still hear the movie, still know what's going on, and you can interact. So for me, that was like my prime time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I probably will never go see another 10:30 at night movie. Yeah, I came out and somebody hit my car. I came out, somebody hit my car, so I'm done.
Wow. In the parking lot?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, you know the funny part about that? He moved his car to another location and came in and finished watching the same movie I was watching. After he hit my car.
What?
Yeah. So for me, I'm just like, I'm sticking my 10 a.m. people sober. Well, some people are sober at 10 a.m. They're sober. People are nicer because I will not lie. Most times you see a bunch of loners in there. It's 10 a.m. So I just think it's, it's a better time because nobody's bothering me. I only had one time that freaked me out, and that's when I went to a movie and nobody was in it. I don't like
it. It don't bother me at all. I will go to see any movie by myself anytime. Does not bother me. My family, my kids will sometimes laugh because I've gone to see cartoons by myself, and they're like, "Dad, you can't be going to watching a movie by yourself." Them people, and those adults will be thinking, "What's that grown man doing in that movie theater by himself with them kids?" But I said, "Well, y'all, it's not like I sit right next to them. I make sure to go sit in the back, and besides, I'm all the way at the back anyway." I love it. And
see, I'm totally different. If I go to a movie and if I'm by myself, I don't want to be in the back. I want to be in the middle seat.
Oh, look at you. My brother's the same way, and I got another.
I want to be in the middle seat where I got a good view. Got to worry about what's going on this side or this side.
God. I had a friend when we went to see the last Star Wars. Some friends of mine ran. I think I don't know if you have met Jim and them or not yet, but anyway, they got seats for Star Wars, and of course, where do you think they got them? Had to be middle section of the theater, and of course, that meant we had to go cross over these people's legs to get inside. And I'm like, oh God, no! Put me in the back where I can go straight.
I sit in the back of the class every single.
Me too. I want my back up against that wall. That way I can stretch my legs out, do whatever. I mean, it's just, yeah.
I'm the nerd that gets there super early anyway. That's why I get that middle seat. I'm always there, like before credits, before it even start. I see the commercials that come on before the credits start. They have commercials before the movies, you guys.
Yeah, they do. I do too. I like getting there early too, and I like being able to, because I like to watch my previews.
I want to get
my family members are like, no, I don't need to watch previews. They get on my nerves. They're too long. I'm like, well, what are y'all talking about? That's like watching other movies. So why would you have an issue with that? But
now I will say, because I was watching these at home, I did miss the previews. And the only reason I missed it because it tells you what's coming up.
Yeah.
But I guess considering I watched it so late, everything that was coming up had already no way, but that was one thing I did miss when I was watching it at home. And like you said, when you move there, at least one other person is there. So I found myself yelling at the screen. Nobody was here.
I don't get to that point where I have to say something. I tell you, it's so funny. My wife sometimes I'll be, if I'm in the bedroom or something, she's in the watch, and I'll hear her talking. I'm like, who is she talking to? And I'll come in there, and she is talking to the TV, just saying stuff.
You got to talk to them.
And I'm like, Terry, have you lost your mind?
You got to talk it out. You got to talk it out.
Because some of the stuff, she's like, oh my God. And I can hear her laughing. I can hear her. It's too funny. So I'm not like that. So
I never talk to the screen, but sometimes I laugh out loud.
Yeah, and I'm about to say it, but it takes a lot for me to do that. And this is, I would say Bad Boys for Life had some really good funny moments where it would just tickle me, and I laughed out loud. And like I said, it takes a lot to do that, but this was a good film to pick and for us to talk about.
I want to point something out that I thought was kind of strange about the whole Bad Boys series. So the first movie came out in 1995, and it was a big hit, and it was a big enough hit that they made a sequel in 1998. And then, of course, Bad Boys for Life came out this January. But what I thought was weird was the fact, Hollywood is usually very trendy. Something is a hit, so you see a whole lot of copycats coming out.
Yep.
How come since 1995, when the first Bad Boys was a hit, we haven't gotten any more buddy cop movies with two black cops? I thought that was kind of strange. Nobody else jumped on that trend.
So there's not. I'm about to say there's not been a major.
I was trying to think, are you sure? But there is no movie.
Nah, the closest they ever came to that was Ride Along, where Ice Cube was a cop, but Kevin Hart he was not a cop. He was just the brother-in-law.
He was a cop in the second one.
Okay.
The second one, he was a cop.
Oh, okay. Because the first one, he was
a
fiance
who wanted to become a cop.
Yeah.
The second one, he was actually a cop. But you can't use that one as a good example because Ice Cube wrote and produced that. So
right.
That still wasn't Hollywood. That still was Ice Cube.
What about like series that are on like on the different streaming channels? Are there anything is there anything similar or comparable right now? Not
that I know of. Even when Mahershala Ali was in True Detective, he had Stephen Dorff as his partner. So it was the back to the same white black partner.
And and I'm glad you mentioned his name. Speaking of which, where has he been at? Because I'm gonna tell you that True Detective was creepy as all get out.
Where's who been at? Stephen Dorff or Mahershala Ali?
No, Mahershala Ali. I haven't seen him in anything lately.
I've never watched it.
Yeah, because Rand said you don't like scary stuff. You don't like any creepy.
You might want to stay away from True Detective.
Let me tell you my thing about scary movies. I don't like him, but if it's enough hype about him, I might watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's enough hype, I see enough stuff, I might watch it.
Might do it.
I ain't gonna pay to go watch it.
Oh, God. Oh.
But you know, if I just happen to be at my sister's house and they watching it, I'm gonna watch it. But I am not like, as soon as a horror movie come on, I got
John.
Well, these aren't horror movies. These are not horror movies, and it's
I love suspense. I like suspense.
It's a cop movie, suspense, excellent. I thought they were great.
But if you ask me, the first season of True Detective is worse than a horror movie.
I will say that first one is pretty rough. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather watch a horror movie than that.
Yeah, that one.
So y'all let me know now. That's not something I want to catch. So I'm good.
So the first season, they're investigating child sacrifices.
Oh.
So I'd rather watch a horror movie.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I will say though, I think the reason why no one tried to duplicate the Bad Boys, with another series is because I think the chemistry was so good.
You're right.
From movie one was just amazing.
Yeah.
And to bring a career actor / musician in with a career comedian and have that mashup, I don't think they could have redid that. Even when they did the spinoff, look at the spinoff. The spinoff is not two males. They did a whole spinoff and made it two females. So I don't think they could have recreated that even if they tried. And I think they kind of realized that and kind of backed off from it.
She's got some good points there, Rand. She got some good points.
Let me ask you this: is the spinoff funny? Is it a comedy?
It is. They have funny moments, and their chemistry is good. So it kind of plays off of the Bad Boys era. Like they have that chemistry with each other. They have the jokes with each other, but they are they're female. We movie. So they're a little more serious sometimes than what you would have saw in Bad Boys. But on the same notion, it's a good watch. I think anybody that watch it would like it. I don't think it necessarily is a chick flick, as people like to say. It's not a chick series at all. It's too much action in it, too much gunplay, too much suspense, drama. It's too much of it for it not to be good for everybody. But I think their chemistry is what makes it good.
Mm-hmm.
They do have good chemistry.
And maybe because of with the success of the first and second, maybe it's just because of everything they had going on with their lives, they just never could find the right. Sometimes you hear about actors say, "Well, we just need to make sure it's the right material."
Mm-hmm.
When you could draw something up on a wall and stand there, and everybody would still probably pay money to go see them. But they, as an artist, I'm sure they have their ideas about what kind of script they want, and maybe they just, everything else that was going on, they just didn't have the time to try to expand on it. Although I'm with you, Rand. I'm surprised that with Hollywood trending on stuff, they did not try to pick up on the two black cops, action comedy type thing. But I just think Melanie brought up a good point. It's just because that chemistry was it was a one-time thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have gotten a lot of buddy cop movies since the first Bad Boys, but it was mostly white partner, black.
Well, nothing I've seen that's been funny, so I don't know what.
I think I was going to ask that. Have they ever had like any buddy white cop shows that were or movies that were popular?
Well, you had the other guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg came out in
horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Both of y'all was like horrible.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That combination just did not work.
And then they had I guess maybe you might I won't put a label on it, but you had Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy in The Heat.
Horrible.
Yeah.
That wasn't good. Well, it was okay.
Nah.
I'm not gonna say it was a great movie.
I agree with John. That was trash.
I mean, my problem is here's my issue, and I mean, I really hate to say this, but I am not a fan of Melissa McCarthy only because I just don't think she is I just think let me just say it this way. She just is a highly overrated as a comedian. And I hate to say that. I just don't find her sense of humor at all funny. I just don't. I didn't even like the show she was on.
Mike and Molly.
Yeah, that just did nothing for me. I don't know. But now a lot of women, especially my wife, love Mike and Molly. Loved it.
I love the show. I just didn't like. Speaking from the fluffier side of women, we all don't want fluffy men. Like, I just thought that was real cliche. Like, that was just, it just didn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like the show. I did watch it. But it
yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not saying she can't act. I just don't know, just something like, I just did not think Bridesmaid, bless you.
Thank you. I don't have COVID.
Like, Bridesmaid. I just thought that was so overrated. I don't know, but I don't know. I think what we're kind of tying into here is the fact that chemistry. Yeah. Sometimes when you find that chemistry, it's unique, and it's one of the things that, you know, I do think that Hollywood typically does try to capitalize off of it and do it again, but usually it doesn't work. I mean, other than when you have, you know, something like Indiana Jones and but he didn't really carry anybody over into this series, right? It was always pretty much different people.
At the end, did he bring his son in or something like that? Did they switch it off with his son?
Yeah, and that was the worst one of the bunch.
Which was that one?
Yeah.
Did they ever have anybody else cast for the main character for Bad Boy? Do y'all know? I was trying to look it up. I couldn't tell.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good point. That's a good question. That's a good trivia question. So I don't know.
I actually remember a rumor about that, but I don't want to.
Because I would be curious to know, like, did they have somebody else that they decided they wanted in that role, in those roles, and ended up with Martin? Because at the time, I wouldn't say Martin Lawrence wasn't like a huge, like he was a huge deal, but I don't think he was that big of a deal.
So originally, before they cast Will or Martin, the movie was supposed to star Dana Carvey and John Lovitz from Saturday Night Live.
Oh my God!
Okay. Glad they decided to go with the direction.
Yeah, but I like them on Saturday Night Live. Dana Carvey to me would not be as much of a stretch as John Lovitz. I mean, John Lovitz I've not seen as much in, but to me I don't know, his acting style would have just been limited in my opinion. So, but yeah,
I don't think
that would not have been as popular. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't think they could pull that movie out. It would not have been a franchise. It would have been Bad Boy, because it would have been one.
And at one point, Arsenio Hall was offered the role of Mike Lowry.
Oh God, no. I mean, because Mike Lowry is a sexy symbol. Like they cast him because they're like every woman wants to be with Mike Lowry. I just can't see Arsenio Hall being that room where you like, oh my gosh, I gotta see Mike. No. So I'm glad he decided not to do it too.
Rand, that I did not realize, but Bad Boys was Michael Bay's directorial debut.
Yep, sure was.
Oh
and you can see his style even in that first movie, his signature style.
Wow. I was just sitting there reading something where we talked about the two things already. They said that the third thing is everybody hated the script. They all thought the script was awful. So they had an unlikely pair come in to do a rewrite. And what's weird is this pair apparently had written on staff for The Tonight Show and The Late Show. Who would have thought of that? They said number 5, Michael Bay encouraged Smith and Lawrence to improvise, which I could probably see that with them being comedians. I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably what brought on that chemistry, letting them have that ability to have some kind of freestyle going on with each other. You know, what would you naturally say to him if he did something like this? Because that's probably where that chemistry comes in too, with him being more natural versus follow the script word for word.
Yeah.
Interesting. They said that Will Smith was opposed and was originally not going to say "I love you" to his screen partner, but they got him to coaxed him into delivering the line. And
This
then
for the first movie?
Yeah. Number 7, they said Will Smith kept his top on. So, because it said in the 90s, it was common for well-built leading men to deliver action sequences while wearing minimal clothing, and Bay had hoped to follow this trend by having Will Smith's climatic running scene performed topless. But said Smith would only go so far as to do the scene in an unbuttoned dress shirt. Well, good for him. He stood up for men's rights, not have to show his body off. So
trying to objectify the man. Trying to objectify him.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to laugh. I'm just saying. I mean, that ain't as much as y'all make women do. That ain't a lot. Oh, he had his shirt off. Oh,
well, but let's just face it too. I mean, he had not trained for Ali at that point, so he'd had nothing but a bird chest to show off anyway. So.
I'm sorry. Will Smith was very cute.
Oh, now listen here. Number 8, this is mine. Michael Bay's mother made him, quote unquote, clean up the film. So they said Bay re-edited a scene because the mother was concerned about how much profanity the central duo used. So he re-edited scenes to omit a handful of curse words.
But I wouldn't think that movie was intended for moms, though.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, how many mothers want to go see an action film with,
about cops?
Exactly. So yeah. I know my mother doesn't. So
yeah, I was gonna say mine.
Number 9, it said the villain's automobile crashed off camera. One stunt involved a car driving out of the back of an aircraft, which resulted in the Cobra crashing and incurring superficial damages. So they had a number of scenes shot afterwards, had to keep the car in tight up close to hide those damages. Wow.
Oh, in the first movie, when the plane was about to take off. Okay.
See, I missed that, so of course I haven't seen that. So
yeah, that's what I was like. Never mind. You need to watch it first time.
Well, all right. Now here's an actress I didn't realize was in one of the movies. I don't know if it's the first or second. Y'all can tell me, but Tia Leone.
That's the first movie.
Yeah. Okay. Said that she was accidentally involved and was knocked out by Lawrence's stunt double. She was in the hospital at one point. Said it was the AK-47 under the jaw that got her. It wasn't on proper mark when the stunt guy hit her with it. Her legs went over her head and she landed flat on her back, and they ended up taking her to the hospital.
Wow.
I would say I really didn't like her in that movie. Like, I've seen her now in Madam Secretary, and I semi know why I didn't like her in that movie. Like the squinty eyes, serious type of look didn't work for her. Yeah. I know that's her style of act.
She's kind of switched. She's kind of moved over to that type of stuff, right? Because she used to be, to me, she was always known as a comedian, but she's since has moved over into.
She was in the first Bad Boy. She was not a comedian in that.
She wasn't. She played a serious part in that.
That was cool.
All right. Well, I got 2 more trivia things. So the number 11, Michael Bay funded one scene with his own money. Says in light of the film's relatively paltry for Michael Bay budget of $19 million, he recalls having to pay for that final action set piece himself. So he ended up paying $25,000 to shoot the scene where Smith and Lawrence are enduring a high-speed chase, an explosion-laden shootout in an airport hangar. So he paid for that whole scene himself.
Yeah, that's the end of the movie.
That made the movie, so he got his money's worth.
Yeah, that was the climax.
Yeah.
And the last but not least, which is I find probably the most interesting, is that Michael Bay has many qualms with the final product. He said he's usually unwilling to speak with open vitriol about his past productions, just as he had with Armageddon. Oh, I didn't like that movie, but anyway. For which he offered a public apology and recanted in 2013. But he's gone on record about his dissatisfaction with the ultimate cut of Bad Boys. He said that the director expressed his dissatisfaction with a number of specific shots, including the car chase following the club hell sequence and one shot in which a character is thrust from an exploding plane.
I think we're our own worst critic. So I think that's what that is. He's just being his own worst critic. The movie was really
But he shouldn't complain as much money than things have made. So, but I mean, I guess it goes back to, you know, him being the director and your final product. And because I'm sure that even though he directed it, unless he has specific rights to the film, or unless you own everything going up front, I guess he can kind of get told what to do and what not to do with certain things. And maybe that's kind of what leads you to dissatisfaction. I don't know. So
that being his first film and him actually putting up money, that might have been when, you know, now movie salaries kind of switch a little bit, where they're not upfront money. Some people are not taking that upfront money. They're taking, okay, I take this cut, but I want some back end money. So
yeah,
I'm worth 30 million. I'm gonna take 20. And I need some back end money. So this movie breaks. If this movie breaks even and they make a percentage over that, I want part of that percentage. So this could have been the first time that he did something like that. Because for him to put his own money in it, I would think.
Well, and $25,000. You mean to tell me the company, the movie studio, put in 19 million and they couldn't come up with another 25,000?
Right. Even though it was
that's just weird.
1995, I still think he might have been the start of those deals where people were getting money on the back.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously, because now his movies probably cost alone ran about 100 million now. So
yeah, and if you notice, the first Bad Boys cost 19 million, and the latest one cost 90 million.
Dang. Man.
And that's why I said that back end money, because y'all think they paid Will at least 30 million for that movie? For it to be 90 million for the total, that meant he took a pay cut and got some money on the back end, which money on the back end probably was way bit more than what he would have got.
I would take a percentage. I'm
thinking he took a percentage. He had to.
Back in, exactly. I mean,
their budget was 90 million.
Who was it that there's somebody that they're notorious for saying they would give up their salary as long as they got like a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5% cut of the end result. I forgot. I'm gonna have to look. That's the trivia, and I'm gonna have to look that up and see who it was that got paid the most. It's a very famous actor, actress, actor. I guess they don't use actress now, but did that, and they talked about the fact that they were willing to do the movie, but the whole thing was they had to get back in profit, and they said it's just made millions. I mean, billionaire. You know.
I think that's something that a lot of actors are learning now, as well as directors. Directors, instead of getting that front end money, go ahead, take that pay cut at the front, especially if you know you have a good product.
Mm-hmm.
Take that pay cut at the front, that back end money, get that percentage, and you make more money. Or, who is it that took over their franchise? Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah.
So he just took over his franchise. He ain't trying to share none of his movies.
That's a whole nother series. I've not seen one of those movies. The Fast, not a single.
You made me clutch my pearl. Oh my goodness.
I mean, you would think I have not seen a single one of. Nope.
Okay, so you need to see Bad Boys 1 and 2 immediately, which then you're gonna want to watch 3 again. Which I will. I think I will watch 3 again.
You know what? The whole Fast and what's the series called? Fast and Furious. That's another podcast. I'm gonna tell you that because
I would actually come back and talk about that one because I actually like the series.
Oh, you do?
I do.
All right, well, Rand, we got a recurring guest already. Somebody wants to come back, and we'll chat about it. So, but I'm gonna tell you why.
I'll send y'all my invoice for this one, of course, but we'll talk about it.
Well, we were talking about because I'm just and Melonie. We sometimes when we're talking, we just come up with thoughts for the next series. So, it just dawned on me that two of the biggest flops in Hollywood that I remember growing up and hearing about was Ishtar. Did you anybody ever hear about that? At the time,
I still have never seen Ishtar.
I've never seen it either, but you know what? I'm going to have to, just for the sake of it, I'm going to have to watch that big bomb.
What is it called?
It was called Ishtar, and it starred Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman. And apparently it was one of the biggest money losers. It's still in like the top 10 biggest money losers.
Yeah.
That was bad, and Heaven's Gate. I remember that was also, and that starred Chris Christopherson, and apparently lost millions.
I haven't seen that either.
Me neither. Well, apparently we haven't. Nobody. I mean, with the money they lost. But
Okay,
that's another topic. That's a good topic. We need to, that way we need to purposely make it a point to watch these films and really tear them apart ourselves to see if they're
okay. This car don't even look like it's a good movie.
No, when I saw the I remember going out watching the previews thinking, who wants to see that? I mean, that just does not look funny to me. But those two were big. They were big Hollywood leading men at the time. So, and then Heaven's Gate to me doesn't look as bad as, I mean, I don't know, but Chris Christopherson is not the best actor in the world. So,
is it a Western?
Yeah. Lost. I think at the time it lost like $90 to $100 million, which was unheard of at that time. Crazy.
Happens all the time now.
But what's the bad? Well, that's true. But what's bad is, if I'm not mistaken, I think the director of Heaven's Gate was also the one who directed The Deer Hunter, which is an absolute classic Vietnam film from 1978. And I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you're talking about it. Christopher Walken is just amazing in that film, and Meryl Streep and John Hurt, and oh my God, there's so many good people in that film. But
it won the Best Picture Oscar.
Yeah, and who was it? The director is Michael. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he ended up directing. I think that was, in fact, I think Heaven's Gate was the film after The Deer Hunter, which is what kind of blew everybody's mind. How you could make such a classic war film and then turn around and make such a big bomb. But anyway, I've gone off on my hand.
Michael Cimino.
Yes.
I haven't seen either one of those.
That's going back. I was around 12 or 13. Lord, you might have been.
The Deer Hunter is the movie that made Russian roulette a household.
That thing, that scene is just so unbearable to watch. I just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just, and when it happened, whew, that just, because I was probably 15, 16 when I saw that. And that was really heavy for somebody at that age to watch a film that serious, you know. I mean, that's what's so funny. Nowadays, you know, kids 13, 14 see some rough stuff. I mean,
their games, what is it, Fortnite? Everybody's playing Fortnite, so their games are so violent.
Is it really? I haven't seen anything about that.
They have a lot of violent games here.
Oh, yeah.
My children got.
Well, I have one more interesting little thing about Bad Boys for Life is that I don't want to get too serious, but I think it's interesting that in this year that a movie about a couple of cops would be the #1 American movie.
With everything.
But I guess it makes sense that the cops are black. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it might have been a problem. Because there's been a big conversation about cop shows and movies since
you're right.
Black Lives Matter protests this year. Like Cops got canceled, Live PD got canceled, and the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They said they threw out all of their scripts for the upcoming season and started over from scratch.
Wow.
I didn't know. I wonder why I didn't see Live PD anymore, but I didn't know they had got canceled. I don't think it should have been canceled, only because it did put a light on things that does happen. In the sense of not all the negative stuff that happens, but certain things you would think, okay, wait a minute, what you mean they ain't going to jail? I thought they should have went to jail. But then they come up with the reason why the person not going to jail. Then you find out something, you learn something new you didn't know before. So I didn't watch it often, but I did watch it some. I don't think this movie probably, like you said, would have got the same hype had it been two white cops versus two black cops. And even with the seriousness of it, at the end of the day, I still think it's considered a comedy a little bit. Even though it had a lot of drama, a lot of action, I think it's like an action-packed comedy. I don't think they necessarily would put it. I would think.
I think you're right. I mean, that's a good point.
The thing, like that show I mentioned before, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a comedy television show, and I think if there had been, if this movie would have had, especially if the cops would have been white and they would have had any police brutality in it, that would have been even worse because you would have been making light of police brutality. So that would have been even more controversial.
It was police brutality. Mike Larry got shot in the street.
Police brutality means the police are brutalizing.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Edit that part out.
Yeah.
Edit that part out.
Yeah.
Part,
Rand's got his edit magic, so because he's probably gonna have to edit out some of these spots where I've been coughing. So
we're gonna keep your COVID in the final.
Welcome to our host who has COVID and he's trying to recover. No, but I do think it's a very good point, Rand, that you brought that up. I mean, I think you and Melanie both make excellent points, and I think they tie into each other. Is the fact that going back again, I hate to be repetitive, but the chemistry between Martin and Will is so good. And I think because there was so much seriousness and so much heaviness within the world going on right then, I think that probably is too why everybody knew it was going to be a lighthearted film in terms of the comedy, and everybody wanted to take the edge off of everything. And that's why I think is probably one of the reasons, because I mean, everybody wanted to escape. And to me, that's one of the reasons, you go to a movie is to escape from some of the serious stuff in life. And I just think that, now if it had been two white men in there and they were doing some things, the police brutality had come up. Oh, no.
Right. That would have been extra controversial.
That would have been, and I think it would have been either pulled real fast or the studio would have realized, what are we doing? We cannot release this. This is not right. They would have pulled it back. I think it would. But no, I think it's a good point. And it's the fact that it was such a good, yes, it was action and there was drama, but mainly it was the comedy and comedic relief is what it provided for everybody. And I think for the time that was going on, it was needed.
I agree. And I can't wait until the next one. If the movie industry stays afloat.
Oh, well, we are here to push it and keep it alive. It's got to stay alive. We got to keep it going. I mean, yes.
I think it will. I think it will now, especially during this time. I think they will rebound tremendously because of the fact that they know people need that relief. People are in the house more. They need that. I call it that mindless thinking. They need something to watch where they don't have to really think about it. So I think they will. I think it's just a matter of learning how to go about starting it back up. Because you got to remember, they had these $90 million budgets, $100 million budgets, and they still have these budgets available, but they are a little skeptical, suspended. So I think it's more of a matter of how they're gonna be able to keep people safe and still do these movies.
Yeah.
I think now they're learning because Tyler Perry, what did he do? His TV shows, not movies, but he did TV shows where he made the cast stay on set for the 3 weeks or 4 weeks or however many weeks it took for them to actually do the movie. Where they had daily COVID tests, they had daily, if you left, you had to explain where you went, how you went, that kind of thing. And that's what a lot of TV shows are doing now that's coming back. You have, I was looking at it earlier, The Talk. They have people coming back to set to be on that show. There was another show I was watching. I watch them on YouTube. I don't watch them at home. I'm at work. But a lot of shows now are putting in place things so they can bring people back, so they can go ahead and go about recording and stuff. And I think that's what the movie industry is going to have to do. They just have to learn, okay, what do we have to do in order to get these movies out? Because I think the money's still there. People still spending money. They will have to find a new way to present it. I think Disney did a bang-up job when they did their Mulan. Because had they not did it the way they did it, I think they would have lost money. Mm-hmm. But by coming up with a new inventive way. Okay, we got people that's paying for Disney. Now let's do Disney Plus, where our Disney movies will start releasing on Disney Plus. So now you need to pay this $29.99 versus $7.99 or something like. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I use a picture, so I don't know how much it costs. But I think that's going to help make it rebound. They're going to just have to come up with a new way to film it and a new way to distribute it to everybody.
Well, but okay, so this kind of goes into another topic. Oh, well, it's related. So Tenet, Rand, I know you've seen it. Melonie, have you seen Tenet?
Which one?
Tenet.
I haven't seen that movie.
The Christopher Nolan film. It's
It
the
came
latest
out in
movie.
September with Denzel Washington's son is in this.
He was initially going to. I thought initially he was refusing to show that in theaters because he said it was meant to be on the screen, and he was concerned about the number, amount of money and the number of viewers that were going to see it.
Yeah, he makes all his movies to be shown, and a lot of them involve IMAX. So he makes his movies to be shown on a big screen and sometimes an IMAX screen. So he never wanted his movies to be. He was totally against having Tenet go straight to streaming.
Well, James Bond, that's the one. That's the latest one with Daniel Craig. That's the one that killed Regal. That's when they pulled the strings on. Because when he said no, whoever the director is, and said no, this we're pushing out to next year. That's I mean, I never will forget. The next day, Regal said, all right, we're closing theaters right now. So
Right.
I think, and Melanie brought up a good point. Is I think they're gonna have, because there is so much money in that industry. They're going to have to try to keep it alive. And one thing they could do with actually is they could, of course, I hate to do that because I don't know if you remember Bush River Theaters, how many they had in there. They were so small that you could hear what was playing next door, which just got on my nerve beyond belief. But it could be that they're going to end up having to expand theaters, and that way they could accommodate the same number of people, but with being spread out. I mean, I don't know. That's just a.
I think drive-in movies may make a comeback.
I would like it.
The problem with drive-in theaters is that they don't operate in the daytime because that would put a glare on the screen. So
good point.
They don't start till after dark, so that limits the number of showings you can have per day. That's why drive-ins usually do double features because they're only gonna they let you watch 2 movies because they have to start so late anyway. So they. Even when they're packed, they don't make as much money as regular movie theaters do.
It's really a weekend thing too, just strictly a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type thing. So,
and I did notice that at least one movie had its premiere at a drive-in theater.
Ooh.
The movie The Rental was Dave Franco's directorial debut, James Franco's little brother.
Actually, I know what you're talking about. I've heard some pretty good reviews about that. So
yeah, I like that. I saw it. It was pretty good.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, to touch on when you mentioned the James Bond movie, it's been reported that they're actually losing every month that they don't show that movie is they're accruing $1 million in interest for the loans that they took out for the movie. So pushing the movies back is costing the studios a lot of money too, not just the theaters.
That's why I said they need to find a new way of releasing. Like, it's nice to do the Prime thing, like a lot of movies are going to Prime early access. But I think they're gonna have to find a new cart for the horse because at this point you can't do the same thing they used to do.
Yeah,
it's gonna take time, which I hope they have it. Because like a lot of industries don't have time, a lot of industries that have not come back with full force or have lost money and have shut down completely. I'm hoping they're not one of them, but if they don't soon find a new way, that's
one way it's not gonna work, and that's doing Quibi. So whatever you call it, Quibi, whatever that thing.
Right.
That thing shuts down so fast. Oh my, jeez. Although I will say what I saw, I did not think was bad. I mean, I thought that what I saw was pretty good, movie making and good entertainment. But Can't do it that
I
way.
like the format that I saw it in, but I would not want to watch a whole movie.
No, no, you're fine.
I don't want to watch it 5 minutes at a time though.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. So, but
I also don't want to watch a movie on my phone.
no. Now I'm gonna tell you, I've been that's one thing about not having my movies and being able to go. I have definitely been streaming more than I typically ever did, and I've watched so many good things on Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max. Who I've seen some good stuff. Let me tell
Let
you.
me get HBO Max on.
I love HBO Max. HBO Max is, yeah.
I keep hearing it. It's good that people like.
It's got some good stuff. So, and in fact, Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant are on a new movie right now. Ooh, on that thing. You talking about some drama? Oh my God, the suspense, man.
Did you watch the remake, The Witches? Did you watch the remake of it?
I know I haven't seen it yet. That's on my to watch list. I just finished watching. I was telling Rand, I just finished watching The Haunting of Bly Manor. Oh my God, that thing tore me apart. Oh, there were so many good actors in that role. And Hannah Grace, the woman that played Hannah Grace, just stole my heart. And what happened to her? Oh, so that's the thing. Sometimes, you know, and it had a great song in it. Kind of found out it was one of those. It had one of those scenes where I'm like, "What is that music?" And I had to Shazam it, and kind of found out. And I kept thinking, I know that voice. Well, it was Sheryl Crow, and she was singing a beautiful song that was taking place with a climatic moment in the film, and it was just amazing. So, but anyway, that's another episode too.
So, Melonie.
Yes.
What is your favorite movie genre? Do you have one?
Love.
You might have hit the bullseye.
You probably did. I'm a stickler for romance.
Romance.
Like, even down the books. I tend to do a lot of romance books. Don't get me wrong, I do like mystery books too. J.D. Robbins is one of my favorites. But with movies, I would probably say romance.
And can you name a favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, favorite movie of all time.
You're putting her, I guessed, on the spot already. Dang.
Actually, no, I have a favorite movie. It's actually a trilogy as well. You won't know what I'm about to say. You won't know it, but maybe you will. My favorite movie of all time.
Pretty Woman.
No.
She said that with such quick no.
Anne of Green Gables.
I've seen that. I don't know which version you mean, but I've seen.
I like the original version. I don't like the new version that they have on Netflix.
What is it again?
Anne of Green Gables.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah. So growing up, I didn't have cable, but we had PBS. So I started watching like The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe when that came out. I saw the original, not the new one.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah.
Became my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
I am the person, and this is how much is my favorite. I have it in VHS, which my niece stole. So now I've since purchased it in DVD.
Busted.
I have Anne of Green Gables. Anne of Green Gables, the continuing story. Or, wait a minute, it's Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Green Gables, the sequel, and then Anne of Green Gables, the continuing story.
That's awesome.
So
Okay.
that's my all-time favorite.
Wow. That is a good pick there because I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that.
That's my favorite.
But it's all right.
I've never read the book. Even though it's a book, though, so I've never read.
Well, you're obviously a reader because I've heard you say you do read. So,
yeah. But
you never read. You just don't want to take a chance of messing up.
What
you know about the movies and.
I can't stand. So what happens in my head is when I read a book, I can cast the people in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I see the movie when I see the book go to a movie, if they don't cast it the way that I would have cast it, or if they don't have some of the similar parts that was in the book in the movie, it tends to turn me off. Prime example, 50 Shades of Grey. Of course, I read all 3 of the books before the movies came out. It was okay, but the casting in it was horrible.
Oh, so they, so the
Casting the
actor,
part.
yeah, you, so who you saw in those roles was not who you would picture from the book.
If you ever read the book or if you listen to the book, because you know you can listen to audio, the way they describe the characters are not the characters in which that are portraying the roles on the show. Like one prime example is in the book, they say he towers over her. She's taller than him in the movie. In the first movie, people don't even realize it. The second movie, I think they put lifts in the shoes. Because in the second movie, he is a little taller than her.
Oh my
So I
God.
think he put lifts in the shoes. So I'm really like, so that's why I won't read the book for Anna Green Gables. Because I don't want to ruin it.
So what actors would be close to what you had imagined?
For the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
So for Anna, I don't know, you know Gilmore Girls, Rory?
Yeah.
She was in Gilmore Girls, Rory. I can't think of her actual name. I probably looked it up.
Alexis Bledel.
I don't know that name. He just threw out a name on me.
Yeah, that's the actress who played Rory. That's her name.
Okay, so yes, her for Anna, because in the book they talk about her having that brown hair and having those piercing blue eyes. The girl has she's Anna. And then for Christian Grey, I wanted the guy that played Thor. Is that Christian Hemsworth?
Oh, Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, him. I thought he would have made a good
Chris
Grey.
Hemsworth in that role? Wait a minute. I think he was
Because
prepared for
in
that.
the book, he has blonde hair. In the show, in the movie, he has dark hair. So, I mean, and then I'm about to throw y'all a loop for her best friend in the movie. Even though in the book, they don't, the best friend is considered white. I think a better person for that role would have been Zoe. Is Zoe Delgado? Is that her name? What's her name?
Oh, Zoe Saldana.
In Colombiana. Is that the girl?
Oh, yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
I think her demeanor and her look would have went with the description, not color, but description. I think she would have played a better person. Yeah, I had to cast the whole movie. That's what I'm like.
Oh my God.
You know, like,
Well, you know who Charlie Hunnam is, right? The actor Charlie Hunnam. He played in Sons of Anarchy. He played the son.
yeah,
Okay.
he would have been okay too.
He was originally cast to play
Right.
him in there.
I think he could have did it, but I think he let I won't say ego, but I'll say he let outside forces change his mind.
Yeah.
Because I think originally he was like, yes, I'm gonna do it, but then it was so much hype about the movie till he backed off from it. So I think he missed his call.
He's a great actor. I love him.
I think that would have took him to another level.
Yeah.
From being.
It definitely would have made him more of a household name than what he is.
Right.
Exactly.
There you go. He would have been he definitely would have been a household name. And
Yeah.
he would have gotten more movie deals off of that movie. Because the guy that played, he didn't take it anywhere because I don't think he was right for that.
I couldn't even tell you who it is.
Jamie Dornan.
Okay, but what's he do? I don't even know. You know what?
Well, he's British. He's British, so that might be part of the reason why we don't not that familiar with him.
And then the one that what's her name? What's her Dakota Johnson? Whose daughter is she?
Yeah, that's
Don Johnson's daughter.
That's Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith's daughter.
Right. Like, I'm happy that she has famous parents, but I just don't think that was a role for her.
Well, who would even heard of her?
Huh?
I mean, I said, who would even heard of her beforehand? I didn't know her before.
Right. Like, I just no.
She said, I'm happy she has famous parents.
It just wasn't. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, that was not a role for her. To me, it just no.
I'm gonna tell you.
And then I felt
it is
in the first movie, I literally felt kind of creepy. Like
well, that whole concept of that movie in the book just is creepy to me, so I didn't need to see it. So
how y'all like whips and chains?
Oh no, I don't need any of that. No, don't need none of that. So
Fully Cinematic After Dark.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Cinematic
Yeah,
After Dark.
like that. Yes, join us next week as we have our After Dark version of
Well, we dive in.
dive into some really deep and juicy stuff. So, because then we
But
could
I
go
just-
into the whole
it
that
just-
whole what's that other series, the Twilight series? Oh Lord, don't
No,
even.
we're not doing that.
Yeah,
We're not touching that.
Rand's gonna cut me off right there. So,
Pass.
and
You didn't watch it, or you just don't want to?
no, I didn't see it. No, my wife read every book and she loved it. So, and I only saw the previews of
I did.
the actors, and everything they've been in since then stinks. So
Okay, I watched it because it was so much hype. I watched it because it was so much hype, but yeah, it wasn't. It's okay.
Now Robert Pattinson has excelled in the last couple of films he's done. He's done a really good job. But that Kristen Stewart, oh Lord have mercy. I just no.
I mean, she wasn't that good in that movie.
I'm sorry, but she just no. I just
Don't go
can't.
too far with it.
Whew, can't deal with it.
That's why I thought one time I was going to venture out and become a casting director, because I think I do really good at picking people that would work for a certain role. And I do. That movie was great. And that's what I say, like the Anna Green Gables that Netflix is now doing. I was excited when they said they were bringing Anna Green Gables next week. I was like, yeah, I can't wait. And I saw the first show and I'm like, what is this?
No.
Is this some kind of Walking Dead living something? Like the people look creepy. Like it's just creepy look.
Oh,
Like they look. It's just.
John, when I talked to Melonie off air, she told me that she was so scared of vampires that she would refuse to watch our vampire episode unless we were talking about Twilight.
Oh no. Well, then you may as well not watch it because that is not the top 5. I can assure you. So.
Right. So I'm just like.
Oh no.
Like
we talk about some good ones.
I'm a scaredy cat at heart. I promise you I am. And it's not, I don't think I'm a scaredy cat. Things just stick with me longer. So like my imagination runs way too wild.
Yeah.
So I'll start watching something and so I kind of try to stay away from that. Like I really want to watch what's the movie that the guy that did Get Out came up with? The movie he did Get Out.
Us? Come on, Us?
Yes, I really want to see that, but I'm not gonna see it. Because I get
it's
nope, it's not for me. It might be for us, but not for me.
Yeah. But you know what though? I do think, now let me just say, he did it for a follow-up. I think he did a great jam-up job. I do think he did a
The
jam-up
previews look like it is a really, like the part of the previews I can watch. I only I started the previews and I was like, oh no.
That film though, I had to go back and read some reviews on it because it was a little bit confusing in parts to me. But I'm gonna draw a blank though. Who plays the main actress in there? What's her name?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita. Oh, she's amazing. Everybody in that film was amazing, but she especially just played that part. I mean, her heart out. She was so good.
She's a great.
And it is creepy, and the ending will blow your mind.
I won't know. It would have to be. It would have to be. So one Thanksgiving, I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick because I know we really go off on some tangents. So let me tell you this real quick. So one Thanksgiving, I was at my parents' house, and in my dad's office is a bed in there. So I was laying on the bed, and my niece came laying on the bed too. And we were watching the TV. Well, the bed is beside a wall, but it kind of slid off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of sink down a little bit. So I was stuck where I was at. So she put on True Blood. At the time, I did not know what that was. And I basically was stuck in like, I literally was like, somebody come help me. My niece was laughing. She thought it was so funny. She wouldn't cut the show off. And I am like this the whole time, like, what's going on? What's happening? No, turn. So, yeah, I don't do scary now. That's the only way you get me watch a scary movie is by accident. I didn't know what was about to start playing. I ended up seeing it.
That's funny. Well, I mean, that is the point of, horror films. You're supposed to be you know, it's supposed to make your adrenaline run, and you know, you had that rush and everything and be scared. But there's something, because Brandon and I've talked before about some of the stuff today that seems to be more on the popular side, which is some of the supernatural, paranormal, and some.
I like movies like that.
Oh no,
I like movies like that. That doesn't.
So you can watch our ghost episode.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch our ghost episode.
4.
Yeah, that wouldn't bother me at all.
I think that's why you need to watch. You need to watch the Haunting of Hill House series on. Well, it's not really a series. The first one and the second one. It's almost like.
I was about to say I've seen the movie House on Haunted Hill.
The original movie.
Different.
Now
That's something different.
Yeah. Haunting of Hill House. There's actually an old black and white version, and then there was. Random since we talked about. I think they did do a kind of a modern version of it, which stunk. So it doesn't live up to the original. But the Netflix story, both of them are just phenomenal. I mean, and they have some spooky scenes, but they're not like, I don't like the torture porn and all that kind of stuff with the chainsaws and the axes and cutting your hands. Ooh, because I was watching Ratchet tonight on Netflix, and that Ryan Murphy is he's just sick. I mean, as far as some of the stuff he comes up with. I mean, when you're sitting there and you got a scene where you're cutting off your own arm. So
you don't like the Saw movies?
No.
I've never watched any of those.
I watched the first one, and that thing. Now that scared the crap out of me. It was gross.
I've never watched them.
It had a great twist at the end.
Oh, it had an excellent twist at the end, but then I tried to follow up on the other ones, and after that, no. It's just, I don't know. It just, and like Hostel. Oh no, with the
Hostel.
I was gonna say, like, I watched
Candyman. Even that Candyman's creeped me out. Oh,
there's a new Candyman coming out next year.
No, that's all right. I'm like Melonie, I ain't gonna see it. So no.
I finally watched the Purge, but not the. I guess I watched the first and the second one, and then the third one is like the first Purge or whatever.
Was there? All right, so yeah, we got law. We
the first one is excellent. I love the first with Ethan Hawke. I love it.
But all right, let me ask you a question, because I know this is gonna be a controversial statement.
Let's hear it.
Not having seen, only knowing kind of what it's about. Is it a film that would incite people to think? Because let me ask you this. Before I even make the statement. If I understand correctly, the story is about one night a year, and I don't know if it's just the United States or if it's worldwide or what.
It's just the United States.
You can commit whatever crime you want for there's no charge, right? As far as
yeah.
So, first of all, my thought was, why would somebody want to make a film like that? And second of all, do you think, because we have a lot of people that just unfortunately are just mentally off their, mentally challenged, they're sick, would that create or add to an environment of where there's such hostility now in some cases? I mean, give me your thoughts on that.
Well, the movies actually have a lot of, they have, well, the first one is, in my opinion, the highest quality of the series, but all of them have social commentary included as well. It's not just about, it's not just horror, because they actually touch on if we actually did have that type of holiday, the rich would prey on the poor, and there would be a lot of racial issues going on. So they touch on all that type of stuff.
Oh Lord, I don't need to see all that then again. So no.
Yeah, they do. They have some hard topics.
Yeah,
but they cover the hard topics with all the killing, I guess you could say.
Right.
Like you said, the first one, the rich prey on the poor. The second one, kind of like now with the election, you want somebody in office to be good, but they were trying to kill them.
So basically, it takes. When did the first one come out?
2013.
So would you say then it basically kind of expands on some current activities and just builds on it?
Well,
and I don't want to say glorify it, but I mean, let
me give you the premise. So, at a certain point in the future, there's a new government takes over, and they institute the Purge, which is an annual holiday, like you said before, where any crime is legal. But And the reason that they do this is because they came up with the idea that people have these urges and they need to get them off their chest. And the thing is, they claim that throughout the rest of the year, crime rates drop to historic lows because people are able to get everything off of their chest during this one day.
Oh my God. Well, okay. Yeah, because there's some people I could knock around. Let me tell you, just I wouldn't want to kill them, but I certainly want to.
And I think that's the whole thing. Like, I think the purge that's what it was meant for. It's meant for, I think, originally people to knock people around, and it went to drastic measures of people.
I mean, it's a creative thought. I mean, a creative idea for a movie.
I actually could see. It's sad to say it, but I could see, like, in the future, maybe something like that happening.
Oh no! Please don't! No!
Only because it does two things. I don't agree with the purge.
Yeah.
I watch movies.
Okay, what are you doing sitting here trying to coming up with a campaign for the purge? So.
But it would do two things. It would help with crime rate because people would have that outlet to just let it go and with no consequences. And two, it keep the population down. Because we are currently headed towards overpopulation anyway. So I think that was another reason why they kind of came up with the purge, because it helps the population.
I think what we need to do is have, instead of the purge, we need to have an activity where everybody comes together, everybody with any issues, heartburns, they're aggravated, they're upset, and let's get in them big balls and let's just try to beat each other with those balls. And just,
the little ones where you roll.
We could, some big ball night or something where everybody could just get in the balls and just.
No, but somebody would take it to another level and have spikes on their ball or something.
Oh.
Yep.
And they the air would go out the balls,
the air going out their ball.
And somebody would get upset and pull a gun out and say, "How dare you shoot my ball?" And
right. So
that's another. And John, that's another part of the purge. All emergency services are suspended during the purge. So no police are going to come and no ambulances are going to come.
No, because I can only imagine what happens as far as the gore in that film. I have seen it.
Yeah, you probably, if you don't like a lot of war type of. I mean, it's every time I see the trailer for it, I get pulled to it, but I'm like, I still haven't seen it. I'm like, no, just back off. Well, that's how it was with the last one. I want to see the one where it says this was the first purge. I want to see it, but I'm like, at this point, I'm a little over all that.
Yeah.
In the world we currently live in, I'm like, no, I don't want to know about
that. Yeah.
Well, the first one is more of a psychological thriller because it's more focused on this one family, because the father, his job is to sell security systems, because during purge night you need more security than you do any other time of the year, and they end up getting trapped inside the house by some kids that were chasing a black guy. And they actually they kind of hide the black guy from the people outside who were hunting him down. And then the family starts turning on each other, and it's about, what each member of the family really believes in and that type of thing.
So my gosh.
Yeah, you got family dynamics
on
steroids. Yeah.
Oh,
and it was crazy if you find out that, I guess the bad guy to other people was not the black guy. It was actually the dad of the family.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the neighbors hated the dad because he had gotten rich off of selling these security systems, and so they wanted to take their frustrations out on him, because he sold all of his neighbors their security systems, so they felt like he got rich.
Building onto his house, as he sold more security systems, his house got bigger.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my God. I don't know. It does sound intriguing. Maybe I can bite the bullet and watch it one night. So.
And if that's too much for you, there's a comedy that was inspired by the purge, came out earlier this year, called The Binge. And on The Binge, what happens is one day a year, every drug is legal. So basically, everybody just gets high with no consequences.
the binge. Oh my
That
God.
won't work for me.
Yeah. No, I don't know about
I'm
that.
good on that too.
Well, I have had a blast talking. I have got to cut my, at least I've got to run. I could sit here and talk for another 2 hours, but
Yeah, I got it.
but I have thoroughly enjoyed having our lovely guest this evening. Y'all can continue the discussion if you want to, of course, but it's so good seeing you and I appreciate your opinions.
Thank you. It was good seeing you.
And we
too.
do definitely have, and I have now got a, all right, so I've got to watch the first two in the trilogy for the Bad Boys.
Last time I checked, they were both on Netflix.
They're on Netflix. Okay.
They are. They are.
And then I'm going to watch, oh, of course, I don't know if I could bring myself to watch the Fast and Furious series there because I'm only thing I'm going to think about is Paul Walker. Is that his name? Paul Walker?
Yeah.
And the song that was in it, oh, that thing.
That one, yeah.
So.
But you won't think, you will think about it, but you would enjoy it.
So, well, there must be something enjoyable about the film because
even after after everything happened, it made
because they made one since his death, right?
Right, and it made $1 billion.
It made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the transition was really good. It was really, it was a really good transition.
Now I would have to say, before I leave though, what is that one film that Vin Diesel did that was the creepy space movie with the aliens?
Pitch Black. It's his best movie.
Which one is it?
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. Okay. Yep. I've always wanted to watch that
movie.
You haven't heard about that, Mel?
No.
It's dope. Yeah, it came out in the year 2000. He was actually the bad guy, but he was the one that they had to turn to when everything hit the fan.
All right, I'm gonna have to put that on. That's on my to watch list too.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember.
Well, I'm getting ready to.
I remember. John, have you seen Point Break?
Keanu Reeves and
Patrick Swayze.
Who?
Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah. And no, but wait a minute.
Oh, that's pretty.
I thought there was somebody else in there. The guy that played Dracula that I said ruined it. Oh no, that was Keanu Reeves. Yeah, we talked about vampire movies and Francis Ford Coppola's version of Dracula. Keanu Reeves was horrible. He should not.
Well, what I was getting at was the fact that the very first Fast and Furious movie is basically Point Break with cars instead of surfboards.
Oh well, then I'd probably like it because I did think Point Break was great. So
yeah, it's the same story. They just changed the surfers into car racers.
The only thing that gets me is when I see the trailers and I see how the car goes flying off the mountain and has like enough speed to eject itself to the other side or something, and I'm like,
not a mountain. The car drove
or whatever it is
from one skyscraper to another.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So.
Well, I will be happy to let you know that the next Fast and Furious movie, or at least one of the future Fast and Furious movies, they're supposed to be going into space.
Oh no! Now you done drawn. No, you may as well just cut it right.
Okay, I don't think I want to see it going to space. That don't even make sense.
What are they going to do? Take the Challenger, like different Challengers up into space
Right.
and fight each other? I mean, that's ridiculous.
I will say I have seen Pitch Black. I'm sorry. I call it the Riddick series. Ryan Riddick, whatever it is. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's what
it's the first movie of the Riddick trilogy.
Right. I didn't know the name of it.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah, it's good.
Now I was very upset at him when he called that girl out for calling the geese. They like, because he smelled her. They didn't know she was a female, and then the reason they figured it out. Is that the one, or is the second one that they figured it out? It's the first one.
I don't remember that part.
Or the second one. This one. Okay. This one of them. I think it's the first one. They didn't know that Joe, I think.
Oh, they didn't know she was a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the first one.
You
I
have
don't
to tell
think I saw this. What is this?
the one you were talking about. Pitch Black.
Pitch Black.
Oh. Yeah, I need to see it.
It's the first movie that Vin Diesel the first big movie that Vin Diesel starred in. Because it came out a year before the first Fast and Furious movie.
Okay, I'm about to say, because 20 years ago, you know, he wasn't as big time of the
But
end.
he wrote and produced that one too, didn't he?
No.
He owns both of those series though.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
He might have write and produced the first one, but
Didn't he produce it?
After purchased it and started releasing his own. Maybe that's why I went to Riddick, because of that. Because it wasn't called that in the beginning.
Oh, wait a minute. I did see the last Rand. That's another one of those movies I went and saw. I hadn't seen the previous, but I did see the Vin Diesel movie that came out this past year. What was it? Kind of a sci-fi.
You're talking about Bloodshot.
Bloodshot. That's what
I haven't seen that.
I
want to see it.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I don't know. I think Rand, didn't you see
it? Is it scary?
I thought it was dishwater.
You thought it was what?
Dishwater.
Dishwater. Oh God. No, I didn't think it was scary.
It's not scary at all. It's more sci-fi action. It's not horror.
Yeah, I liked it myself, but you know, I mean, it was a good pop.
I'll let y'all know, because it's in my mind stuff. Like, you know, the stuff you want to watch, put on your wait list. It's on my mind.
But see, I can already tell Melonie's one of those that is a person that if she's got somebody on her mind that she likes, don't be talking bad about that stuff now.
Right.
So Melonie.
Oh, Vin Diesel is hot.
So Melonie, your favorite genre, your number one genre is romance, but I'm guessing your number two genre is action.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then drama.
Okay.
I like the
drama's my number one. Drama's my all-time number one. Because drama covers so many things. I mean,
and I like suspenseful drama. I don't like this. No, I like suspenseful drama where you got to really think about it. Like, okay, like now I will say my all-time, I guess it was a scary, but to me it was more suspenseful drama type movie. Would be What Lies Beneath.
With Harrison Ford.
With Harrison Ford. What Lies Beneath.
What's her name? Girl that played in Grease 2.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep.
That was like
Harrison Ford and yep.
No,
that's
a no for me.
What?
That movie, that's a no for me.
Really?
You saw it?
Yeah.
I think he just say no to everything I like.
Oh, well, no,
that was a good movie.
I like the Bad Boys movies.
And didn't you like you like Fast and the Furious franchise, right?
Some of them.
Not all of them, right?
Some of them.
Yes,
I didn't like Torque. Wasn't that the one with the bikes, Torque?
Yeah.
I didn't like that one.
Nah, me either.
You know what I was just saying? Oh, well, I was about to say there's not, and because I was sitting and thinking about another genre is sports films. But yeah, I watched it, and I do not watch movies really more than once ever. I mean, Rand and I talked about this, but I watched Way Back again on HBO Max the other night with Ben Affleck, and I'm telling you that is. And
if you liked it enough to watch it twice, we got to talk about that on a future show.
I just can't even say enough about it.
What was it?
The Way Back with Ben Affleck. Oh, that is just.
And see, I'll watch a movie a second time. Like,
he is amazing.
If I like it, I'll watch it over and over again.
See, I'm not.
And I purchased it. If I purchased it, I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't purchase movies. I haven't purchased a movie, and I could not tell you how long.
Well, now I don't because too much screaming. But like,
yeah.
Well, I won't say that because if it's something I really still like, I will purchase. Like the Indulgent series. I purchased that because I really did like it.
I've heard of
Indulgent.
that. I've heard of that. Yeah.
We might have
Divergent.
We might need to get you on to talk about that in the future episode.
Yeah. I will say the one thing I always said I was going to purchase and I have not done yet because Rand and he's not going to be surprised when I mention this movie, but Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I have got to, in fact, you know what? That's
I saw that. I saw that movie on a Tuesday night. I went back and watched it again Wednesday night.
That thing is just. In fact, that's gonna be my Christmas list. I need to tell my kids.
I haven't seen it. I didn't think it was something I was gonna like. I didn't think it was something I was gonna like.
Oh.
Look at me. Look, somebody didn't think I was gonna like. So I'm not big on the. So the last Batman they had, I really wasn't. I don't like his acting.
This is not. It's barely. It's hardly even a comic book movie.
I promise you, it is. It is so off of that realm.
I've heard that it was really, really good. Because wasn't that his last movie he did? Before he killed himself, wasn't that the last movie he did?
Yeah. It's the. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you now. It's
no. Melonie's talking about the Dark Knight. But
no.
No. I'm talking about. It's another movie called The Joker.
It's called Joker. Yeah, he won best actor for it. Joaquin Phoenix.
No, there were two different people played the Joker in two different movies. The Heath Ledger was the Joker in The Dark Knight. He died. Joker came out last year, and Joaquin Phoenix was the Joker in that movie.
Okay,
he's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like a comic type. And I'm not. You can ask Rand. I'm not big on comic book movies either.
I don't mind comic book movies.
It's okay. Like
I don't like Ben Affleck, and when I saw him play Batman, it just kind of threw me off. I had
no, me and you got to go our separate ways on that one because
what's she saying?
Is a dope Batman.
He is not. He is horrible.
Oh,
put
he
some
is the most horrible actor ever.
Man,
you hear this, John? She's talking that includes the way back. Get her, John. Get her, John.
I mean, are you just saying? You're just saying him in that role. You're not saying him as an actor, are you?
I'm saying him as an actor.
Oh! Cut this thing off. No, you ain't coming back to our show. No, never.
Oh my goodness! I got ganged up on.
No. It's so funny. We just got through talking about the fact that he's one of those that I just think everything he's pretty much been in has been so good.
I would not say. I'm not going to say everything he's been in because I thought Reindeer Games was trash.
And maybe that's what it is. I might have saw a couple movies that he was just horrible in, so now I don't like him.
Well, let me tell you.
Which movie did you see him as Batman?
When did the movie he played Batman? I saw him.
He was Batman in 3 movies.
Well, wasn't he Batman in Batman vs Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that didn't do it for you.
He was great in that movie.
Maybe I should give him another chance. And I did not watch the movie all the way through because I was just like, I don't want to see him in nothing else.
Oh no.
So maybe I should give him another chance. I tried watching him in Justice League.
Justice League is terrible. Don't bother with that one.
Well, I still haven't watched it. I keep on watching it.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Because listen. The reason I say don't watch it is because when they made Justice League, the original director stepped away, and then they brought in a replacement director who completely changed the movie. And it is a completely different movie than it was supposed to be. So now the original director is putting his version on HBO Max next year.
What?
So wait for that one. Don't watch.
How can they even do that?
Because the fans demanded it.
But I mean, how can
what somebody that's getting a check on the higher end side, I would think would say something about that. Like.
Because they know that they have a built-in audience. Because the fans petitioned for him to be able to complete the original version. They raised money and everything. They gave this dude $70 million to finish his movie.
Good Lord. Well, we know comic book fans are diehard, especially when it comes to the movies. They are diehard fans. Now, I'm just going to say the one reason I particularly like, I mean, of course, I don't know if y'all remember Pearl Harbor. At that time, I could not believe the number of teenagers that went back and saw that movie like 6 and 7 times. It was unbelievable. but then but the
You know
reason
why?
this last movie,
You know why? Because they
Why?
followed the blueprint of Titanic with that movie. They took an
Oh, yeah,
actual.
that had to have been it, because I'm telling you, when my daughter was in high school, she and her friends, they went and saw it like every other weekend. They were going to see Pearl Harbor. I'm like, y'all quit pumping money into that movie. What is going on with you?
Yeah,
But they
because
loved
they took a real historical event and then they created a fake love story. And
it. And then you know what else surprised me?
What? Rose and Jack were not real. I'm just playing. I know that word. I just.
What is the other movie that Nicole Kidman played in? It was a musical.
Moulin Rouge.
They went, y'all. I'm telling you, back when that came out, again, the high school kids went and saw that movie. Like Lauren probably could sing every song off that soundtrack.
That's just because they figured out what Boule shit.
They loved that. And you know what? And I've seen bits of it.
Once they realized what that meant, it was like, oh, we can say this and not get in trouble.
I don't know what the appeal was there, because I mean, I'm a fan. I like musicals myself, and I'm gonna have to watch it because, I mean, I know what the basic storyline is, but to me, when I first started watching it, that one main character with the top hat and everything, oh, he just drove me crazy. Oh, it just, no.
I didn't get it. I didn't get the appeal. I didn't like it.
Although I will say, Ewan McGregor did an outstanding job of singing Elton John's song. He did a beautiful job with it.
That's another thing. I don't like I don't like movies where the songs don't fit the time period. I don't want Elton John wasn't around during the 1920s.
Wait a minute, what movie y'all talking about?
Yeah, Moulin Rouge. And Ewan McGregor started singing your song. Elton John's, the song, your song.
Who's Ewan McGregor? What are you playing?
And that's where Nicole Kidman is sick and he falls in love with her, but she doesn't. They don't realize until later on that she ends up with the plague or something like that. I don't know what it is.
I had checked out by then, so I don't know.
Oh, ran, God. But he does it outstanding. Just Google, just do a YouTube or do a Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, and just pull up Ewan McGregor singing your song, and he does a marvelous job. Really, I didn't. Nobody, and that's the other thing is everybody couldn't realize how good he could sing. Oh
yeah, that's the first thing that came up.
But I've got to go back to my man Ben Affleck in the way back, and let me just tell you, the reason this movie is not only, well, first of all, it's a sports film. Second of all, it really portrays, I feel like, so close to his life, because he was married to Jennifer Garner, and he was an alcoholic. And in this movie, he also plays an alcoholic. He's still not. Well, that's true.
Right.
Well, he's recovering, but he's a recovered alcoholic. Right. But he has problems with his drinking in this film.
Yeah.
And but some events turn around to help him with his life, and it's just amazing.
It's also, Melonie, it's also about basketball.
And it's about basketball, and it's a great sports film.
That's not going to film me either, but I will try a Ben Affleck movie again, but I'm telling y'all, normally I'm just like, ugh.
Well, his Ben Affleck's best movie is The Town. He starred in it, wrote it, and directed it, and it's about a group of bank robbers in Boston. You should check that out.
I've heard of that, and I need to see it. I can't believe I haven't seen that.
It's from 2010. It's called called The Town.
I've heard of the movie. I just never watched it.
It's good. It's the best bank robbery movie of all time.
I've heard it's really good,
including Heat.
Including what?
It's better than Heat.
That's putting the bar mighty high. So, Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Have you ever gone back to the 70s and seen Al Pacino? And what was that bank robbery movie they did back then?
Dog Day Afternoon?
Yes.
It's better than that too.
No. Okay. Well,
yep.
No. You got a chance.
I've seen Dog Day Afternoon. It's better than that.
That movie was way ahead of its time. So, and Al Pacino's just.
I'm about to really make y'all mad. It was better than Takers.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
Nah, Takers is good. Yeah.
I need to see that. So I haven't seen
that. Paul Walker's in it too, so don't get too emotional.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just that was just such a tragic thing to happen to him and with the daughter and everything. It's just Okay. And Paul Walker's not going to be forgotten. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, I don't see it happening. So it's like, of course, I'm changing way off base, but last night on that Voice, they had a woman that came on, and she sang Whitney Houston's "How Will I Know," and I have never seen anybody do a version like that. And John Legend even said he couldn't believe it. I mean, I forgot what the girl's name is. She was from Arkansas or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, she did her name is Kim McKee or something. Anyway,
Oh, you talking about on The Voice?
she was on The Voice last night.
Oh.
She did a version of Whitney Houston's "How Will I Know," and I'm telling you, that sent chills up everybody's. Oh, and I mean that's just another case of a wonderful celebrity or star, however you want to classify them. And I still can't believe she's gone. But anyway, so anywho, all right. Well, I'm out of here. So it's been a thrill, and I'm glad we had to have a guest, and y'all can continue your chat.
And John, you mentioned Tenet earlier, and me and Terrence plan to talk you into going to see Tenet on a future episode.
Okay.
Well,
all right. I'm gonna stream that. I'm gonna purchase it from Fandango and I'm gonna watch it. But
you're gonna watch it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hold off then, because we were gonna pull out all the stops and throw spoilers at you and all to make sure you.
But now wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Though. Have you watched Christopher Nolan's other movies?
Most of them.
Oh well, I know you have. Yeah, because Batman. And what's the one? Memento. Have you watched Memento?
I saw Memento, but I was only halfway paying attention.
Okay.
But The Prestige is good, and I also recommend Interstellar.
Is Interstellar the one with Sandra and?
No, Interstellar is Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yes.
Michael Caine and Anne Hathaway.
Okay, yep, I do remember that. Yep, I think I do remember seeing that one.
Awesome.
That's around the time we had all them space movies going on, like with Matt Damon.
But Interstellar was the best one.
Yeah. Well, of course, I love the one with Matt Damon, but
Oh, you talking about the Martian?
Yeah, but poor Val Kilmer, Kilmer, he I don't know what happened to him. He just went off the deep end or something. So
he was in that?
No, he was in the other one they did years before that called Mars or something like that. It was weird.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, nobody did. But so all right. Well, this has been fun. I'm so glad we got to catch up. Well, this has been fun. Thank you for your input. We love it. Hope you do come back as a guest. So. And,
yes, I enjoyed myself.
Although you slam my main actor Ben, Lord have mercy, what am I going to do? So,
I'm so sorry.
And I can't believe what you said about Batman.
I know now that this is a pro-Ben area.
But hey, you know what? We welcome the feedback, and everybody. That's the thing about art is everybody.
I just feel like
everybody has their own interpretation.
Every movie.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting you to say Anne of Green Gables.
My all-time favorite movie. I could even, like, if you were watching it, you'd be so sick of me because I could even, like, verbatim tell you what I'm about to say because that's how many times I watched it.
But that is a popular, very popular series. I mean, it just, I mean, and I know people.
I don't like the Netflix version that it came out with, but I do like the original.
Well, y'all have a good evening, and let's do this again. Fun. So
Melanie, you got your list. Batman. No, you saw. Yeah, Batman versus Superman all the way through. Suicide Squad. Ben Affleck is Batman in that movie too. And wait till next year to watch Justice League. and watch The Town.
And watch The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, that's not comprehensive.
Oh.
But
I thought you said you could do ghosts.
I can to a certain degree. I don't haunted houses. I live alone. No thanks.
Well, you know what? Then she's not gonna, especially the second season. The Lady in the Lake. Yeah, she won't like the Lady in the Lake. Ooh, that thing is creepy. Oh my God. So, All right,
So,
guys. Y'all have.
And John, your homework is to watch Bad Boys 1 and 2.
All right, I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I will report back. So.
And you see that chemistry from the get.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, y'all
Mike,
have a good
All
night.
right. Thank you for having me.
Bye. Good seeing you. We'll see y'all later.
Later.